this video, I'm going to give you 13 things you need to know if you are currently living or planning to live in San Diego. These are going to be 100% my opinion and represent my personal San Diego experiences. I've lived in San Diego my entire adult life. I know a thing or two about San Diego. Some of these are going to be kind of the obvious stuff, but some of the tips are going to be so secret, even the most local San Diegans should pay attention. So stay tuned. Alright, what is happening, everyone? I'm your man Wesley Guest, and like I said, I'm going to give you 13 things you need to know if you are thinking about becoming or are already a resident of San Diego. Some of these are going to be repeats of my 17 things to know video. Some of you might have seen that. For those, I'm going to go deeper and give you even more detail on those things that you need to know. For the others, they're new things that I thought of after I published my previous video. But before we start, if this is your first time to my YouTube channel and you want to learn everything about living in San Diego, like where to live, eat, work, sleep, and play, then please consider clicking that subscribe button. And maybe you could smash that like button for me while you're at it. And if you know someone who is thinking about moving to, from, or within San Diego, don't be shy about getting a hold of me. The truth is, I love making videos like this, but I'd much rather helping amazing people like yourself get into the real estate game. If there is anything I can do to help you reach your real estate goals, I will 100% make it happen. So number one is going to be that San Diego is not all beaches. We absolutely have beautiful beaches, but we have many other diverse types of neighborhoods and locales. There are so many suburban communities and neighborhoods. We have the city, think like downtown San Diego with the gas lamp in Little Italy. We have more rural type communities where you can have a house and some actual land. Think Fallbrook, Alpine, Hamule communities in those areas. Of course, we're even gonna have the more eclectic type of neighborhoods such as North Park, Hillcrest, and South Park. Amazing places. Of course, we're gonna have the incredible beach neighborhoods that everybody knows about, but we are not all beaches. Okay, so number two is gonna be the Mexican food in San Diego definitely lives up to its reputation. It is amazingly good. Honestly, East Coast, you can keep your amazing pizza. I'll take my San Diego Mexican food every single day of the week. My favorite spots to grab a burrito or taco are going to be Santana's, Sombreros, Alberto's is really good, and you need to try this new one. It's the Miguel's. So yes, it's a chain now, Miguel's, but try the one on the harbor. It just opened. If not for the food, for the amazing harbor views. Number three is going to be that life in the SDC is not cheap. The bad news first is that the cost of living in San Diego ranks at or right around number 12 as far as the United States is concerned. But here's the good news. We consistently rank around number 5 or number 6 as far as quality of life. The living isn't cheap, but we are absolutely happy in San Diego. Number 4 is going to be about the misunderstanding I think a lot of people have about the weather here. It's 100% true. We have amazing weather. The average temperature is pretty much paradise. That being said, there are going to be a few rainy days that happen. We get about 12 inches or so on average. There's also an overcast system that you need to know about that hits the beaches on a lot of the mornings and into the lunch hour. Usually burns off by mid to late afternoon. Number 5 is going to be the fact that we have earthquakes. And big deal, yes, we have earthquakes. Newsflash, anyone can have an earthquake, but the entire concept of the ground rattling and shaking under your feet can be a little terrifying. But what you need to know is that San Diego is absolutely built for earthquakes. Quick little story here. This is going to sound a little scary, but hear me out. I was on the 17th floor of a downtown high-rise once, way back when we had a bigger earthquake hit. The building did what it was supposed to do. It moved and it swayed, which is 100% exactly what it's supposed to do. Also, I can assure you, once you've been through a couple of earthquakes, you don't worry about them all that much. Number 6 is going to be San Diego is a sports city and does get behind their teams when they win. And that's despite what some people say. Granted, we only have one major sports team basically at this point, the San Diego Padres, but when we win, everyone gets on board. You're for sure going to see images on TV, semi-empty ballpark or Petco Park. If the Padres do their part, the fans will come out. You have to remember the team competes with a lot of other attractions and things that other cities and states don't have to contend with. We're never cooped up because of the weather. There's lots of things to do in San Diego. And a quick side note here, even when they're not winning, which is a lot of the time, we definitely have one of the best ballparks in Major League Baseball. All right, so number Number 7 is going to be the fact that city or downtown San Diego is not necessarily where most people work. There are businesses and companies there, but it's really more of a place to live. There's lots of high rises with apartments and condominiums. It's a place for tourists. The convention center is going to be there. Think of events like Comic-Con, restaurants, there's bars, there's shops. But most of the biggest employers and industries in San Diego are actually located throughout the entire county of San Diego, which is much bigger and not really that close to the city. Living in the city doesn't mean you are living close to work. All right, so number 8 is going to be that owning or at least having access to a car or some type of vehicle is pretty necessary. San Diego does not have the best public transportation. Rideshare is plentiful and there's electric scooters, or they feel like they've taken over the city to some degree, but you're probably going to need a car. Number 9 is going to be the fact that there are lots of transplants in San Diego. Probably more uncommon than common to meet someone who's born and raised in San Diego. If you live here, you know what I mean. If not, you will find people from wherever it is you are from, guaranteed. All right, so number 10 is going to be San Diego is extremely dog friendly. Like, you will see dogs everywhere you go. I mean, everywhere humans go. Nothing really surprises me anymore. My 2 dogs live better than I do. Number 11 is going to be that Burgundy is not a thing. If you don't live here, you might think of Will Ferrell's iconic character when you hear of San Diego, but if you live here, it's not a thing at all. If it comes up, it's from someone not from here. Number 12 is going to be that San Diego is a massive military county. We have the Marines, we have the Navy, Miramar, Top Gun, Coast Guard, the Air Force is nearby, the Army. You can even go check out the active Navy ships and Coast Guard ships and aircraft carriers in San Diego Bay. My recommendation is actually to do a 2-hour harbor tour. There's a couple companies that do it. They show you and explain everything about the different military ships. You can also go on and tour the Midway, which is now an active museum. It's amazing to set foot on an aircraft carrier if you haven't been in the military or never been on one before. It's right there on Harbor Drive in West Broadway. Thing to know, number 13 is going to be that San Diego State has decent and national ranking sports teams in the major sports. Many people don't know that because they think, well, you're San Diego, not exactly the sports capital of the world anymore. San Diego State's 2 probably at this time most well-known sports are going to be the men's basketball team and the football team. For the last decade, probably even longer, they've been extremely competitive, constantly cracking and ranking inside the nation's top 25, especially basketball. Some of the universities to the north probably get a little more attention, a lot more attention, but the sports at San Diego State are competitive. If you like college sports, check them out, especially once the new San Diego State football stadium is completed. It's going to be amazing. Alrighty, so that's my updated and new 13 things you need to know if you're thinking about moving to or living in San Diego currently. If you have comments to add, please by all means do so in the comment section. I love checking out those comments. And don't forget, hit me up anytime if you have questions about San Diego, or I can help you move to, from, or within San Diego. Thank you so much for watching or listening if you're on the podcast, and check back soon. I publish at least 1 video per week, usually more. I will see you on the next one.